Hey everybody, it's Ashley of Day to Day Social Work. I'm a private online tutor and I specialize in assisting colleagues across the nation to pass the license exam in social work on the master's, bachelor's, and clinical level. You can find me online at Day to Day Social Work on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So I was sitting here finishing up some work and I forgot to make a video to tell y'all, because I don't think I put it on the Facebook or the Instagram, that my student loans were forgiven. And so we're sitting here at November, right? And this happened back in April, which again shows how very inconsistent I've been with posting because I've been super, super busy building my private practice and working full time and trying to maintain a personal life and all this other stuff. But anyway, so yeah, back in April, um, I had just finished my taxes, just finished paying my taxes rather before the deadline. And I was sitting here minding my business, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I get this email and the first thing I see is congratulations. And then I see $0 balance. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. What is this? And it was an email that said that my student loans had been forgiven. Now, this isn't a part of the current student loan forgiveness stuff, obviously, because this is back in April. This was the public service loan forgiveness, which they extended. And I'm completely lost as to what's going on with student loan stuff right now. Well, not completely lost, but like because mine have been forgiven. I hadn't been paying as close attention to it, but I have been looking at it, the updates and things like that when I do see them. But this was during the time where you had until October to apply for the I think it was a temporary extended student loan, public service loan forgiveness, where they would go back and count certain payments that didn't count before. So that's how mine were forgiven. So I had been enrolled in the public service loan forgiveness program since I graduated from undergrad and I had to start over. Yeah, that's what it was. So I graduated from undergrad in 2009. I started paying on my student loans, but then I got a job and then I went to grad school and I had them on hold and deferment. And then when I graduated from grad school in 2014, obviously it was time to start paying back. So I did. So I believe it was last year. I was like, oh man, I still got another year. At that time, I think it was like another year to pay. And I was like, okay, and then it'll be 10 years. But then I called to the student loan people and they told me that I had like another 2 years or something like that. But then this came along and I ended up getting signing up for it. I always kept in touch with the student loan people every year, make sure I turned in my employment verification, my income, made sure I was in the correct income driven repayment plan, made sure that they were counting all my stuff, made sure that everything was in order because I'm not a very organized person in general, but when it comes to my business, finances and stuff like that, I am. So I called them. They filled in the paperwork. They said, okay, it's going to take a couple months, or maybe they didn't say it was going to take a couple months, but it took a couple of months. I applied back in like October of the year before, which would have been last year. And then in April, I got the notification. So I had paid. What happened was the payments that I paid before they went into deferment for me going into grad school, those counted when they didn't previously count because I had to start all over with the new loans I got for grad school. And then let's see, I had to reconsolidate everything and the payments kind of started over. And so they counted those payments that didn't count. And then while we were in the lockdown for the pandemic, all of those $0 payments counted as payments that we didn't have to pay for like 2 years. So I just banked that money and they counted those payments. They counted all my stuff up and I got my loans forgiven and I was so excited. Like I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it now. It's like, are they gonna send me a letter and say, nah, just kidding, you still gotta pay. but it was $48,000 wiped away just like that. And so it was really, obviously it's a blessing. Um, like I said, I was paying my taxes, which I owed, and I didn't even owe ever before, at least not in the amounts that I owed this time. And so it was really on time. So I would just say, I know I'm coming late with my opinions about student loans and all that other stuff, but I have a friend who paid his student loans off early. He had a scholarship to play football in college, so I don't know how much, his student loan debt was, but he paid it all off early. Kudos to him. Congratulations. I'm happy. For me, I was always a responsible person. I only took out what I needed for tuition. Um, for both undergrad and grad. Well, undergrad, I did take out a little bit more to live off campus, but I didn't go crazy with it. I paid my stuff on time. I kept all of my stuff up to date, and I signed up for the public service loan forgiveness program. And it was an agreement, a new agreement, because obviously the student loans themselves was an agreement. Um, but it was a new agreement, and I upheld my part. So I don't feel bad that my student loans got forgiven and other people had to pay theirs off and they worked hard. Okay, great. I get it. I worked hard too. I made a new agreement to work for 10 years in the sector. I did. I made the 120 payments. Mine got forgiven. So, people feel how they feel about student loan forgiveness and all that other stuff, but it was a blessing for me. Um, I don't currently know where everything stands with the public, well, not the public loan forgiveness, but just the student loan forgiveness in general, where they're giving either 10,000 or $20,000 in forgiveness, depending on what kind of loans you have and all that. Like I said, I stopped paying so much attention to it because it doesn't apply to me anymore. But I would just encourage people to just apply, even if you don't think you qualify for it. Call to the student loan people, and I call them the student loan people because I know everybody has different loan servicers, but call to your people, see what can be done. If I think last I heard there was a halt to the forgiveness and there was a change to the forgiveness that's currently going on now with the $10,000 and $20,000. So just stay up to date on that stuff because, and you never know, it might work out for you. I was like real leery about it. At one point because I saw that some people had done the 10 years and then everybody was getting denied and rejected. And I was like, please don't let me be in this program for 10 years, working in these sectors where I could do something completely different and my stuff isn't forgiven. But it was. So keep the faith, keep on keeping on, stay up to date on the information, and keep trying, keep being responsible, and hopefully a blessing in that form will come through for you as well. Um, Again, if you hadn't seen previous video, the 90-day pre-recorded tutoring series is on special for $150 until the exam changes because we're now in the DSM-5 TR. So I don't know when they're going to change the exam. It hasn't changed yet from my knowledge. And so tutoring will cease to exist after they change the exam because I'm not going to have time to update my material. And I'm moving on with doing counseling and being an independent therapist in a group private practice. So um, any questions or anything about student loan forgiveness, I can't really help. I have videos on it from a year or two ago. But if there's anything I can do to help, reach out. I can try to connect you to whatever resource that I can to answer whatever questions you have. So, hope everybody has a great morning, evening, day, whatever time it is that you're watching this. And I'll see y'all in the next video.